This week, we are talking about the cause and effect pattern in writing. Now, the cause and effect pattern helps us to do a number of things. And of course, the things that it helps us to do are reflected in the name of the pattern itself. Cause and effect writing emphasizes the reasons why something occurs, or it emphasizes the effects or outcomes of an occurrence. Cause and effect writing is useful as a standalone form of writing, but is also really useful for argumentative writing. What it helps us to do is to discuss with our reader the significance of something or the so what of something. If we are trying to convince our reader that they need to agree with us, it is important for us to be able to discuss the effects of them agreeing with us or the causes of the thing that we are arguing against. So this week, we're going to take a look at a basic cause and effect structured paragraph and then imitate that paragraph ourselves in this week's discussion board. As with other forms of paragraphing, cause and effect writing begins with a clear topic sentence, a number of supporting details, and a closing sentence. So here's a basic skeleton for a cause and effect paragraph. We have the coronavirus pandemic has had several negative effects on the United States. First, due to the illness, many people have become sick and some have lost their lives. Second, the coronavirus pandemic has damaged the economy. And then our closing sentence, clearly the effects of the coronavirus will be felt for years to come. As we've discussed in previous videos, the closing sentence points the reader back to the topic sentence, reminding them saying, hey, all these supporting details that we included in our paragraph help to prove that that topic sentence is true. Now, as we know by this point, that having just a couple of major supporting details is not enough. We need to add in some minor supporting details that help to illustrate or develop our paragraph a little bit further. So if we're thinking about how to develop this paragraph a little bit further, we're going to start with that first major supporting detail. And we're going to add some minor supporting details to help illustrate how many people have become sick, what kinds of people have become sick, how many people lost their lives. And so one minor supporting detail will be that as of this making of this video right now, which is October 5th of 2020, there have been over 7 million cases of coronavirus in the United States alone. And of those over 7 million cases, almost 7.5 million, cases, 210,000 people have died. Now, in addition to that, as of the making of this video, currently President Donald Trump has COVID-19 as well. So those minor supporting details help to illustrate or prove that that major supporting detail is in fact true. It fleshes it out a little bit. We look at our second major supporting detail, that the coronavirus pandemic has had damage on the economy. Well, we want to be able to express or explain that cause and effect detail a little bit more. So, what do we mean by that? Well, we mean that people have lost jobs. And when you lose your job, you sometimes can't afford mortgage or rent or groceries. Also, many people who have lost their jobs are still out of work. So by adding in those minor supporting details, we're helping to illustrate and provide the context for that cause and effect relationship. So here's our paragraph without the appropriate transitions. I'm going to just go ahead and read it for you, and then we'll look at it with the appropriate transitions so we can see the difference in emphasizing the cause and effect pattern. The coronavirus pandemic has had several negative effects on the United States. First, many people have become sick and some have lost their lives. According to the New York Times, as of October 5th, 2020, 7.49 million Americans have contracted COVID 19 and 210,000 have lost their lives. Even President Donald Trump is not immune. Trump contracted the virus in early October of 2020. Second, the coronavirus pandemic has damaged the economy. States had shut down in order to control the spread of COVID 19. Many businesses laid off employees. Working people have difficulty affording rent and groceries. According to a Pew Research study, half of American workers who lost their job during the pandemic still have not returned to work. Clearly, the effects of coronavirus will be felt for years to come. Now, especially thinking about that second major supporting detail, the one where we're discussing the economy, you can notice how the minor supporting details really just sound like a list. it's not clear the relationship that we're trying to emphasize. The cause and effect gets lost in the sauce. And so what we want to do is we want to add in those cause and effect transitions in order to emphasize that relationship. And some of the cause and effect transitions you'll see on the screen here, there are phrases like as a result, due to, because, therefore, thus, hence, so, and consequently. There are others, but this is a good starting list. So let's revisit our paragraph one more time, this time with our transitions highlighted and included. We have the coronavirus pandemic has had several negative effects on the United States. First, due to the illness, many people have become sick and some have lost their lives. According to the New York Times, as of October 5th, 2020, 7.49 million Americans have contracted COVID 19, and 210,000 have lost their lives as a result of the virus. Even President Donald Trump is not immune. Trump contracted the virus in October of 2020. Second, the coronavirus pandemic has damaged the economy. Because states had to shut down in order to control the spread of COVID 19, many businesses laid off employees. As a result of the layoffs, working people have difficulty affording rent and groceries. According to a Pew Research study, half of the American workers who lost their job during the pandemic still have not returned to work. Clearly, the effects of coronavirus will be felt for years to come. And as you probably figured out, the underlined words are your major supporting transitions, so first and second. But I've also underlined the keywords in both the topic sentence and the closing sentence that indicate to the reader that this is in fact a cause and effect paragraph. Highlighted in yellow are your cause and effect transition words. So this week, as you're working on your discussion board post, you're going to write a cause and effect paragraph on a topic of your choosing. And you want to imitate the paragraph that you see here on the screen, or refer back to this video for the cause and effect transitions. Remember that writing cause and effect is oftentimes a standalone assignment, but it's also a very effective writing pattern for the use of, for when we're writing argument as well.